Good morning. How are you? What I like about what we're hearing today is when we started, my wife started the agency, and I'm hearing all these things, and I'm like, if I would have known everything I heard today so far and just captured a couple of them, life would have been a whole lot easier. But also, a lot of the personal stuff that we've heard, such as with what Judy's talked about, also applies to the marketing aspect and branding your business. And so today, I'm going to talk about finding your why specifically for your business and how that ties into branding. We get a lot of people coming into our office, and they're really focused on a tactic. I want to focus on search. I want to do email marketing. I want to do social media. And they don't really know what the outcome is. And so you're over there going, well, why are we doing all this? What are you trying to accomplish? And one of our clients that's been very successful is a company called Antennas Direct that's made the Inc. 5000 list 5 years in a row. And he came in, he worked in the tech world. I'm all excited going, hey, we're going to get this tech client. And I'm like, so what is it you do? And he goes, I make television antennas. And I'm like the thing my grandparents had on the roof of your house? He's like, well, no, they're better looking. And, your wife would actually let you put this one on the house. And I'm like, does anybody watch TV with an antenna anymore? He's like, oh, this whole thing's happening, and fortunately my competitor is Charter Cable, and everybody hates him. It's a gift from God. And I'm like, he goes, I'm focused on liberating people from this unhealthy relationship. They hate this relation so much that I believe when we switch to digital television, this thing's going to go through the roof. And I'm like, okay, this is a lot to absorb here, and I'm kind of scratching my head. And so we start digging into it, and I'm like, wow, he's really got something here. He is so passionate about what he does and about liberating people from this relationship. He actually sat in Charter's customer service area and watched people complain, and he took notes, and he actually studied some of the things that they hated about that relationship and started incorporating a lot of that into our marketing message and our PR message. And I'm over there going, if you can do this and grow a business and double every year making television antennas, what else could you do? So as we started going through all that, he told me his vision was to be the next Bose, to be the next Monster Cable, to basically be able to liberate 50% of the United States. Today, 20% of the people in the United States no longer use subscription television. So as we started looking at it, started tapping into what are the feelings that people can tap into? What are the experiences that we can tap into? What are the stories? What kind of connection can we make with people? Is everybody going to sit there and adopt a television antenna? Is everybody going to adapt or adopt the Southwest Airlines model of how you corral people and bring them onto an airplane? No, they're not, and that's okay. And for most of the people in this room, we're not trying to reach out to everyone. So what is it that we can do? How can we tap into people and reach out and catch a way that ultimately something that can appeal to them? It's tying into an emotion. What is an emotion that's going to get people to react and take action and look at potentially moving forward with your product, your service, your brand? So thinking about emotions, when you look at some of the weaker emotions up here on the screen and you move into stronger emotions, think about some of the brands you interact with. Think of Southwest Airlines. Think of Nike. Think of Zappos. Think of some of those different things. Think of Volvo. And then look at some of those emotions. Think of Volvo. What's an emotion people think of when they think of Volvo? Anybody out there? Exactly. There's no confusion there. They're not competing with BMW for the ultimate driving machine. They're not competing with anything else. They're focused on safety. And when they're really clear with that message, they've been very successful. Think about our antenna client. People want to end an unhealthy relationship with their cable company, with their satellite provider. They can stream content and get the rest of their local broadcast through an antenna. What do you think people feel when they can cancel that relationship with a cable company? Anybody out there? Relief. Freedom, relief, exactly. So I think that's how you can take something where his competitors had been in business for 70 years and actually missed a huge opportunity and didn't grow in one of the biggest opportunities with streaming and with people going with the digital transition. A lot of his competitors threw in the towel and started making satellite dishes, and next thing you know, Best Buy, Walmart, Costco, Sam's started bringing this guy's antennas onto the shelf because he was so passionate telling the story. He got the attention of the National Association of Broadcasters. They're like, who is this guy out here talking about over-the-air television? We thought we were going to be ending this, and our group was going to be looking at how we partner with cable companies, and there's this guy. We need to bring him up to the Capitol. We need him to testify in front of Senator Blunt and Rockefeller and in front of the Senate Technology Committee, explaining to him that this digital transition that you spent billions of dollars on, giving your DTV converter coupons, was actually a successful program. And so along the way, just tapping into that emotion is just a great way. And I think you can apply that to just about any business out there. You know, you can either be a real estate agent, or you could go out and maybe tap in and figure out a different way to be a real estate agent. That's a really competitive thing, is being a PR guy when you're pitching a real estate company. The first thing a reporter is like, oh my God, I'm gonna have 2,000 realtors call me and tell me they're better than this one. Why are they different? And so that's the thing that we really have to dig into is, why are you different? Why are you going to appeal? What is that emotion you're going to appeal to? So, how do we get into finding your why? These are some questions that I've thrown up here that we usually dig in with clients. There's a whole lot of other questions we start asking, but why does your organization exist? You could do anything on this planet to make money. Who cares? Why does it exist? What are you going to do for people? What is that promise? What is your vision? What are your values? What's important about what you do? Do you do it really well? Do you provide a good value? What keeps you in this line of work? You can do anything. You can change careers. You could work for someone else. And why is the community a better place because of you? If you didn't exist, would anybody miss you? And what do you have to say that is truly unique? When I hear Judy talking about Zappos, if you stand up and said, I'm going to set up an online shop to sell shoes, and they're going to be full price, like, okay, good luck. You can buy shoes just about anywhere. I can buy them through Amazon. You think you're going to be successful. You think of people selling $100 yoga pants. If you went in and went to a banker and said, I'm going to sell $100 yoga pants, and can you loan me a bunch of money? And the brand out there now has been very successful. They're a billion-dollar company. They have a lot. I'm talking about Lululemon yoga pants. You look at that brand, they have brand ambassadors. They have all these people that are willing to be listed on their website to be brand ambassadors because they're that passionate about what their product does for them and how it transfers that energy in a positive way. How can you create ambassadors that are so passionate about what you do that they're out there talking for you for free? So, uncovering the why. Can you name a time when you were happiest in your business? What was happening in your business? What customer-related business outcomes are you most proud of and why? I have those specific experiences. We're a catalyst for confidence and shine for our clients. When we got our antenna client on the Today Show, and Matt Lauer's saying, I don't get this product, why are you here? And he's like, oh, this is the coolest thing ever, and you saw him getting excited, and then you saw you saw the confidence with our client, and then everything take off was really exciting for me. What organizational accomplishments are you most proud of? It really ties into what Kathy was talking about. Where are your strengths? What are the things that you're really passionate about? And then what can you delegate? But focus your efforts where they're most productive. If that's marketing, and if you have a great marketing mind, great. If that's something else on the organizational side or accounting side, that's fine. Bring in the people to help you figure out the marketing aspect of it. What are the things you're most excited about to communicate with your customers? What's going to get them excited, and what gets you excited as well? If you're not intrinsically excited about what you do, but also your customers are going to have a hard time getting excited. Now, going to your customer, what is their why? Why do your customers do business with you? They can do business with anybody. There's big brands that have lots of money that can really market and promote. Why do they want to do business with you? If you can't tie into an emotion, it starts becoming a commoditized product, and they're just going to go for lowest price. So delivering some sort of experience that's unique, some restaurants are very good at that and can really create a wow experience, and it takes really hard to get a table there. That's because they've created a really unique experience. What does your product or service does it really matter to the customer? Is it something that, yeah, it's okay, or this is something I really need or want? And how does the customer feel when you're communicating with him or her? Are they annoyed, or is this something they're really looking forward to having? We're working with a client right now that's struggling with because they're annoying all their customers, and we're trying to figure out how we can change that where they can still have a good experience, because they deliver a great value proposition, but they're annoying all their customers. So we've tapped into something that's negative, but they really have some great values there that we're trying to remove some of the inconsistency in the brand. The beauty of branding is once you figure out what it is, it's making sure it's consistent throughout your entire organization. You don't want one little hiccup in the experience where somebody doesn't deliver what you've promised, and then all of a sudden everything you've spent and all the energy you've spent gets thrown out the window. And then also, just can you name a time when your customer expressed gratitude or appreciation for what you do? This will start waking you up and telling you, wow, this is really something that's amazing that I never even thought that we did. With our antenna client, we actually hosted a cable horror story contest, and we couldn't script the stories that came in, but they were some of the things that you just kind of expect, but also these were things where they were able to put food on the table for their kids, and some lady had a bundled charter package, and they lost their complete internet package, and a family member had a heart attack, and they were having trouble reaching 911. So things like that. And he's like, wow. He goes, I never thought of how our competitors have such a negative experience on somebody. But then there was a lot of humor in there as well. There was a gay couple that was getting charged for heterosexual porn, and they were laughing about it, going, look, if we were going to rent porn, that's not what it would be. And so we had a lot of emotions, a lot of fun to play with, but you couldn't script this stuff. We couldn't make this stuff up. So the emotional connection. What emotional need does your why address? Going back to that chart, can you address an emotional need with your brand? How many people here in the room right now feel like they can address an emotional need within their brand? Great. Looks like we got a good show of hands in there. What are 3 to 5 things you can do each day to create and nurture that connection? Those are the things that you start thinking about, the tactics that how are you going to reach out to your clients and start nurturing those things, and how are you going to start sharing those stories? Will you be sharing that via email marketing? Will it be video? Will it be blogging? Will it be social media? Will it be just making sure that people can find you in a search and make sure they can find exactly what they're looking for? But it might be something a little unique that maybe it's not, I'm looking for a productivity coach. Maybe it's, I'm about ready to pull my hair out. So thinking about those types of things and figuring out how you can tap into that. Some of the things for consideration, your core messages. Ultimately, you've listened to the core messages throughout the political campaign. You need to think of your business in the same way. You need to have your overarching theme in what your brand is and what your brand promise is to your customer, but you need to have 3 supporting messages underneath that. Those supporting messages, they can be articulated in different mediums and different formats, but they should ultimately support what that brand is. They should be incorporated in all your marketing communication. If you look at politicians, they're masters of using their 3 core messages. No matter what they get asked, you heard it in the debates, they go back to what their 3 core messages are. If that didn't work, they wouldn't be using that, but you need to incorporate that again in your core brand message. And then looking at all customer experiences at all touch points. If you're a restaurant and you've got trash in front of your building, even if it's in the right-of-way, that's an issue that you need to face as an owner, because what your customer is going to say is that kitchen clean? Are they really that clean when they're preparing my food? Those are the things that you need to be considering. If you're a hospital, we actually worked on a study with a hospital, and a couple of the things that came out that concerned their patients coming in was gum on the sidewalk. As people were walking in, they throw their gum, and that was still sitting on the sidewalk, and dust on the plants in the lobby. So If you're looking at that and you look at the millions and billions of dollars that a lot of the big hospital conglomerates can spend on marketing, advertising, you can actually ruin that whole experience within some gum on the sidewalk and some dust on the plants, because they start looking at it and saying, well, wait a minute, they promised all this, but I've walked in and I'm already having a bad experience. So you may be the owner, you may be the CEO of the business, but it is your problem to make sure that you're delivering a really good experience of whatever you've promised to your customer. Marketing tactics. I see so many people get so focused on a specific tactic that they lose sight of why are they doing this and what are they trying, what is the outcome? And if you're trying to figure out just, hey, we're going to do social media and start building a presence, if you can't answer the why is anybody going to even respond to you in social media if there's not anything interesting or engaging to say? If you're doing email marketing, if you can't answer the, why do I care when that comes through, then it's just going to get deleted as quickly as it comes in. And I know that Tom will be talking about that. And then as you're perfecting that story, also looking at it from a search perspective, okay, we've got that. They land on the page. They had 3 other choices to choose from in those top 3 search results. They land on the page. How do I keep them there when they come in? And I think that's going to be an important thing to consider. And from a PR perspective, if you want to be successful in PR, you have to have a strong why. The first thing, when I remember, I got really lucky pitching my first story in my career. I ended up with the client on the cover of a publication that was in their industry. So I was like, wow, I'm really good at this. And then the first person that turned me down, he's since passed, is Rick Deloge at the St. Louis Business Journal. And I said, well, what was it that I need? And he's like, I don't hear the why. And so that's really stuck in my head, and that's a lot of the basis of this. And if you really think about it from a marketing perspective, whether you're trying to get your head around the brand, any of the tactics around what you're trying to do, you have to answer the why. Why do I care? Why would I open this? Why would I do business with this business? Or why would I do business with these folks? And figuring out all those components. And then ultimately putting together a thorough plan where you start going throughout the year and you don't sit there and change course every time you work throughout the year, but you start following through on making sure everything that you deliver, all your marketing collateral matches what the brand is, but also that you follow suit on it. The worst thing you can do is change course throughout the year multiple times. Do you need to make minor adjustments? Yes. Will some things change? Are there things you need to react to? Absolutely. I'm happy to send the presentation to anyone, any of those questions, anything like that. Here's the easiest way to reach me is you can reach me through Twitter, through Facebook, LinkedIn, or you can connect with me. My email address is on our website. Thank you.